When we look at meditation, what's good about it? What are the benefits of meditation? You might get an idea. Meditation is not just sitting in an awkward position and doing this like weird stuff with your hands. It's a lot more than that. Meditation is something that has been around for thousands of years, and there is a reason why people still practice it today. There is a reason why millions of people around the world meditate regularly, because it is good for us. It makes our lives better, and it gives us a lot of different advantages. So let's explore what those are. The first thing that's good about meditation is that it helps us to focus. Our brains are always working, which is great. We can use that to our advantage, but sometimes it can be a little bit overwhelming. If you're trying to concentrate on one thing and you're thinking about a bunch of other things at the same time, you're not going to be very good at that one thing. So meditation helps us to focus by training our brains to pay attention to one thing at a time. When we learn how to do that, every other area of our life improves. How many times have you tried to read something or watch a movie and you couldn't focus because your mind was wandering all over the place? How many times have you tried to have a conversation with someone and you were so distracted that you didn't really listen to what they were saying? This happens all the time, and it's not our fault. Our brains are just not used to focusing on one thing at a time. But when we meditate, we train our brains to do just that. We learn how to sit with our thoughts without judgment and simply observe them. And when we can do that, we can focus our attention on whatever we want to focus on. This can help us to be more productive, to improve our relationships, and to live a more focused life. Another thing that's good about meditation is that it helps us to relax. Life is stressful and there's no way around it, but we don't have to let stress control us. Meditation helps us to relax by calming our nervous system and teaching us how to let go of stress. When we learn how to do that, we can approach difficult situations with more ease and grace. We can also relax more deeply when we're not in a stressful situation. Have you ever felt like no matter how hard you tried, you just couldn't relax? Maybe you would lay down to take a nap and your mind would start racing and you wouldn't fall asleep. Or maybe you would try to read a book and you just couldn't focus. This is because our brains are constantly trying to solve problems, even when there's no obvious problem to solve. We're constantly analyzing everything and planning for the future. This is what causes stress. Meditation helps us to relax by teaching us how to stop this constant chatter in our minds. When we learn how to do that, we can finally relax and enjoy the present moment. Another thing that's good about meditation is that it helps us to be more creative. When our minds are constantly racing, it's hard to come up with new ideas. We're too busy trying to keep up with everything that's going on. But when we meditate, we give our brains a chance to slow down and wander. And that's when the magic happens. Some of the most famous scientists, thinkers, and artists were known for their meditative practices. Albert Einstein said that his creativity came from his ability to daydream. And Steve Jobs was known for taking long walks where he would let his mind wander. Daydreaming and wandering are essentially the same thing as meditating. They're all about giving your brain a chance to rest and wander. And that's when the best ideas come to us. Meditation helps us to be more creative by training our brains to be open and receptive. When we learn how to do that, we can come up with new solutions to old problems and see things from a fresh perspective. Another thing that's good about meditation is that it helps us to be more grateful. When we meditate, we focus on our breath and we observe our thoughts without judgment. And this helps us to see our thoughts as just that, thoughts. They're not facts. They're not reality. They're just thoughts. When we learn how to do this, we realize that we don't have to believe everything we think. We can choose to focus on the positive things in our lives instead of the negative things. We can choose to be grateful for what we have instead of envious of what other people have. When we learn how to do that, we can feel more positive emotions and be happier. Another thing that's good about meditation is that it helps us to be more compassionate. When we meditate, we learn to see all of the thoughts and feelings that arise within us without judgment. We learn that everyone experiences negative emotions from time to time, and that's okay. We don't need to be ashamed of those thoughts or feelings. We don't need to judge ourselves or others for having them. When we learn how to do that, we can be more understanding and compassionate towards ourselves and others. We can learn to forgive ourselves and others more easily. We can also become more patient because we learn that everything changes and nothing is permanent. Another thing that's good about meditation is that it helps us to be more present. When we meditate, we focus our attention on the present moment. We learn to let go of the past and not worry about the future. And when we learn how to do that, we can finally enjoy the present moment. We can appreciate the beauty around us and savor the taste of our food. We can listen to the birds singing and watch the clouds floating by. When we learn how to do that, we can feel more connected to the world around us. So these are just a few of the many benefits of meditation. If you've never meditated before, I encourage you to try it out. You might be surprised at how much it improves your life. Now let's talk about how we can actually go about doing this. How can we put these things into practice? One way to begin meditating is by finding a quiet space where you won't be interrupted. It doesn't have to be anything fancy. It can be as simple as a quiet corner in your bedroom or living room. The important thing is that you feel comfortable and relaxed in the space. Next, you'll want to find a comfortable position to sit in. You can sit cross-legged on the floor, or you can sit in a chair with your feet flat on the ground. The most important thing is that you're comfortable and that your spine is straight. If you're sitting in a chair, make sure to sit upright but not stiffly. You should be able to relax into your seat while still maintaining good posture. Once you're comfortable, close your eyes and turn your attention to your breath. Notice the sensation of your breath as it flows in and out of your body. You might also want to focus on the sounds of your breath as you inhale and exhale. If you're sitting in a quiet space, you'll likely be able to hear the sounds of your breath clearly. But if there's a lot of noise around you, it can be helpful to use headphones to block out the distractions. As you continue to focus on your breath, you may notice that your mind starts to wander. That's perfectly normal and to be expected. Just acknowledge the thought and then gently redirect your attention back to your breath. Don't get frustrated if you find yourself getting distracted. It's part of the process, and it's okay to take breaks and open your eyes if you need to. But try to make it a habit to gently guide your focus back to your breath each time it wanders. Over time, you will find that you're able to focus on your breath for longer periods of time without getting distracted. And that's when the real benefits of meditation will start to kick in. You may feel more relaxed, focused, and at peace. So give it a try and see how it works for you. There's no right or wrong way to meditate. So experiment and find what works best for you. Just remember to be patient with yourself and enjoy the process.